Hi everyone, welcome to the class once again. I hope you're all doing good and in the best of your health. I hope that simultaneously you're enjoying learning physics with me and you are also practicing question based upon the concept that we have learned till date. Till now we have studied about resistance, how to find out the equivalent resistance. We have also discussed about grouping of cells. We have talked about series grouping, parallel grouping, and how to find out the equivalent EMF of cells. In the last class, we stopped with cells. I told you some more facts about cells. In today's class, we will be using the Wheatstone bridge concept. If you remember, I have told you about Kirchhoff law, the Kirchhoff current law and Kirchhoff voltage law. After that, let's use the Kirchhoff law in understanding the Wheatstone bridge concept. It was the physicist Wheatstone which gave the concept of Wheatstone bridge. It's a very simple concept, but let's have an idea about what this concept will detail us. Wheatstone bridge. First of all, there will be some resistors which would be connected. Let's say we have 4 resistors connected in this way. As shown in the figure, they are connected here as shown. I hope that you can make out that this is how the 4 resistors are connected. Let's say the resistance value is P, Q, R, S. Now you can see that if I mention the names of the terminals, let's say this is terminal A, this is B, this is C, this is D. A, B, C, D are the ends of the terminal. Now, if a cell is connected across terminal A and C, if I connect a cell across A and C, it will look something like this. Hope you can get the idea. From here, I'm connecting a cell across A and C in this way. Due to this cell, current will start flowing. Now, this kind of bridge will be a balanced Wheatstone bridge. It will be a balanced Wheatstone bridge when a certain condition is satisfied. It will be a balanced Wheatstone bridge if a certain condition is satisfied. That is, potential of B will be equal to potential of D. This is required. Potential of B is equal to potential of D. That is, if I connect a galvanometer, need not to worry about this term galvanometer. You can understand that it actually gives us an idea about the direction of current. If I connect the ends of B and D with the help of a galvanometer, the galvanometer will not show any deflection. Galvanometer shows no deflection. This is what will happen on connecting the galvanometer across B and D. As you can see, across B and D you connect it, you will be getting no deflection. It means there is no current flow through the circuit connecting the galvanometer. That means potential of B will be equal to potential of D. This is what is the condition for the balanced Wheatstone bridge. Now, if it's a balanced Wheatstone bridge, and let's say current I was moving through this cell, let's say it distributes into 2 parts, I1 and I2, and here since it's moving across B and BC also, so again since there is no distribution of current, no current is flowing across this, so I1 current will be moving across this, and again I2 current will be moving across this because both B and D are at the same potential. Now you see here, as I told you, the potential difference is 0 across B and D. So if I express this, we can say for balanced Wheatstone bridge as VB equals to VD, for balanced Wheatstone bridge, already we have written VB equals to VD. So we can write VB minus VD is equal to 0, one equation. Next thing is the same current I1 is flowing across this and I2 is flowing across this circuit. Now you see here, if I express VA minus VB, that will be equal to I1 into P. You can check. VA minus VB will be equal to I1 into P. And second, you see VB minus VC. VB minus VC will be equal to I1 into R. So let me write VB minus VC is equal to I1 into R. Next thing, again you see VA minus VD will be equal to I2 into Q. VA minus VD will be equal to I2 into Q. So here I am going to express this equation number 1, equation number 2, the third one, VA minus VD is equal to I2 into Q. And one more equation directly you can check, VD minus VC will be equal to I2 into PQR and S. I2 into S, that will be equal to VD minus VC, that will be equal to I2 into S. Equation number 4. Here you can see. Now you see here these 4 from these 4 equations, what you can make out? VA minus VB will be equal to VA minus VD, because VB equals to VD, so we can write VA minus VB equals to VA minus VD. So we can write from 1 and 3, from equation number 1 and 3, clearly we can express I1 into P is equal to I2 into Q. I1 into P is equal to I2 into Q. From here we are getting P by Q is equal to I2 by I1. Let's say equation number 5 we have obtained. P by Q will be equal to I2 by I1. From 2 and 4 you see VB minus VC will be equal to VD minus VC, because VB is equal to VD. So we can write I1 into R equals to I2 into S. So from 2 and 4 you can see I1 into R will be equal to I2 into S. So from here R by S will be equal to I2 by I1. Let's call this as equation number 6. R by S equal to I2 by I1. Again you see in equation number 5, I2 by I1 equals to here, again I2 by I1 here we are finding here also. We can write P by Q equals to R by S. So we are getting a relation P by Q equals to R by S from equation number 5 and 6. So from 5 and 6 we are obtaining P by Q is equal to R by S. One relation, one requirement for the balanced Wheatstone bridge, P by Q equals to R by S. Here you can see. What are we getting? These are all the value of resistance. That is, if in the case you are finding that the ratio of P by Q is equal to ratio of R by S, it means it's a case of balanced Wheatstone bridge. That is only condition you have to see. You have to just divide P by Q and R by S. You will be getting both as equal. So hence it's a case of balanced Wheatstone bridge. And in this such cases, what will happen? There will be no current flowing through the galvanometer. Even if I show you a new circuit, see what will happen. Instead of galvanometer, if I use a new circuit in this way, let me go ahead and draw a very simple circuit. 1, 2. This is one more representation of Wheatstone bridge. Now you see, let's say this is terminal A, here B we have, this is C, this is D. Again P, Q, and P and Q was the other one, this is R, this is S. Now for B and D at the same potential, if I connect a resistor, PQRS, let's say we have connected a resistor, let's call it as M. So if P by Q is equal to R by S, then this M will be of no use to us, because potential of B will be equal to potential of D. This is what will happen. So M will be of no use. So through M no current flows. Through M no current flows, as the potential of B and D will be same. No current flows through M. This is what we are going to get in this balanced Wheatstone bridge. This is a representation. You can connect a resistor, you can connect a galvanometer, anything. If the condition of Wheatstone bridge is satisfied, We get a balanced Wheatstone bridge. That means no current is going to flow anything that is connected across B and D. One thing we are going to obtain from the Wheatstone bridge in this way. Next thing, now see there are 4 resistors I have connected. There are other methods where you can use the concept of, where there are other diagrams also where you can use Wheatstone bridge concept. And before that, let me tell you all some basic things about calculating resistance. I will go ahead and now see, suppose you find a circuit. Let's say we have a circuit given as 5 ohm, and let's say this is 10 ohm, and here we have, let's say 25 ohm, and here we have, let's say 50 ohm. This is connected, and let's say we have one more resistance of 20 ohm over here. This is what has been given. We have to find out the equivalent resistance of this combination. We have to find out equivalent resistance of this combination. For equivalent resistance, see, first of all you check that you cannot identify whether it's a series combination, it's a parallel combination. But you can see 5 by 10 is equal to 25 by 50. Both will be 1 by 2, 5 by 10 is 1 by 2, 25 by 50 is also 1 by 2. So we can see that it's a case of balanced Wheatstone bridge. It's a case of balanced Wheatstone bridge. So how you can further go ahead? So it's a balanced Wheatstone bridge because 5 by 10 is equal to 25 by 50. So this part can be eliminated. You can eliminate this resistance of 20 ohm. The circuit that you will be getting, that will be a very simple circuit, 5 ohm, then 25 ohm, 10 ohm, and then 50 ohm. This is the circuit that you will be getting. Now it's an easy part, easy question. It has become, so 5 ohm, here we had 25 ohm, and here we had 10 ohm, and this is 50 ohm. Simple circuit, 5 and 25, that will give you 30 ohm, 10 plus 50, that will give you 60 ohm. So finally the equivalent resistance, if I draw for the circuit, I'm rubbing this diagram, it's not, I believe that you would have taken down, and now we'll be obtaining 5 plus 25, 30, 10 plus 50, 60 ohm. This is the combination that is we are going to get 30 ohm and 60 ohm. So parallel combination, you can easily evaluate. So the resistance will come out to be, take their product, 30 into 60, divide by their sum, 30 plus 60. This is what for 2 resistors I have told you. Now if I simplify this, 30 into 60, let me keep it as it is, and here 30 plus 60 will give you 90. This will go ahead, now see this 3 times, it will go ahead, and 60 by 3 you will get 20 ohms. So 20 ohm is the resistance of this combination. We saw that Wheatstone bridge will be of great help to us if we can see that where it is a case of balanced Wheatstone bridge. So we can easily solve such kind of question based upon the concept of balanced Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge can be used in many questions. Whenever you find a complicated circuit, if you can evaluate, if you can check that it's a case of balanced Wheatstone bridge, you can easily solve this question, such questions. I believe that all this concept would be of great help to you all, and you all have enjoyed learning physics with me. So I will meet you all with some more concepts, with some more illustration in the next class. Till the time, I wish you all that you all start practicing questions, and wish you all the very best for your coming preparations. Thank you everyone. We'll meet in the next class.